Hello, my beautiful souls. Welcome to your daily read. This is going to be for Saturday, November 26th, 2022. I do thank you so much for joining me for this reading, and I do want to remind you this is general for the day for all 12 signs, so simply take what resonates and leave the rest behind. Do bear with me as I continue to, I want to say even struggled to upload all 12 of the monthly money and career reads for December. For several of the signs so far, even ones I haven't uploaded yet, I've done the reading in full and just wasn't satisfied with the quality of which due to multiple factors at hand. But anyways, bear with me. They will be uploaded when they're meant to, as they're meant to. But yeah, they're reminding me of how I did Virgo's reading 3 times in full. A full hour worth of recording before I even got it uploaded. Anyways, but I did, with that said and done, just record pretty much the entire daily read and just felt so bland in the delivery. It felt wrong. But there were some obvious key points that were so damn accurate, right? Everything does come out in a reading for a reason, even if the delivery isn't on point, even if I don't end up using it. But so I decided to, with the Halloween Oracle, to just pull 2 more in addition to the one that I had went with in the first attempt. So we have in the center the Joy card, talking about the present moment. That came out so much in that first attempt, and what Spirit's saying is, yes, that's true, but it wasn't meant to be the entire reading, okay? Or the majority of which. The Jack-o'-lantern card talking about protection, a very 4 of Swords vibe. Don't be surprised if you see synchronicities of 4s throughout this day, okay, or even 2s is what I'm hearing. And then Skeleton, the Strength card. And this did come out from the Gilded Tarot Royale in the first attempt. But these 2 cards as well feeling quite relevant. Control and unnecessary fear. And I really do feel as if it's a day that highlights the fact that you wish you had a bit more control in regards to what's concerning you a little bit, right? Even if it's not to the fullest extent, even if nobody knows about this fear or this concern, it's a sense that it is very much in regards to the future of where you're living, the future of a relationship, the future of your money, the future of your career. It could be more than one thing. It could be even tied to the future of a loved one for some or multiple. However it ends up working for you, right? Again, even if it's more than one thing. Spirit's saying you're desiring more control, and that's making you nervous, okay? Even if that isn't what's at hand in the moment, it could come to the surface, or they're saying float out. Interesting wording. It could be evident through small moments of slipping up on your words, and it might be easy to blame other factors outside of you, even if at times that is true, right? Say you're blaming the energy, or just the energy feels like it's affecting you, right? It might be more so you just being a bit nervous about what lies ahead, but again, that could be intertwined in regards to what's meant to change moving forward, or just that uncertainty in one way, shape, or form, okay? Don't be surprised if it's a day where you space out occasionally, but I'm getting a very 10 of Swords vibe with this. Something is meant to come to an end in the near future, and you need to understand that it's going to play out as it's meant to, okay? If you need a replacement for something, you will find it when the time is right. Let's pull from the Gilded deck and see what else we get. So yeah, definitely a focus throughout this day on you needing to stay in the present moment, but it might feel a bit all over the place, at least in your mind, if not both in your mind and outside of you, in your external reality, because while you're being recommended through this reading and through certain synchronicities to stay present, you personally feel it's hard to not hold on to the past or bounce back, and or just to revisit, and or to think about the future, what you don't have, what you need, what you desire, all of which potentially. And then even with you doing this to oneself on top of it all, Spirit even might be pushing you through synchronicities, reminders, speaking through your thoughts, that bringing you back to the past, and or just making you think about the future. Does that make sense? So it's a bit all over the place in more than one way, I feel. But anyways, the Ace of Cups, because I do feel like there's a very abundant opportunity at hand, okay? We did get the Ace of Swords in the first attempt for this reading, and so I feel like a sense of clarity coming in, at least to a certain extent, knowledge taking place throughout this day in certain ways, but a sense of your third eye opening to a certain extent, to what lies ahead, okay? Even to what's at hand in a situation, whether it's work, home, a connection, okay? Even if you're not physically wrapped up with it or that person. Anyways, let's pull here the Hanged Man or the Hanging Man. So it's a day where you may feel this push, this reminder, look, with the Ace of Swords, to hang from the Tree of Wisdom and recognize that sometimes you do give advice that's really sound and then you don't utilize it for one's own situation. Well, I mean, I can just connect that to my individual life, but anyways, as well, you might be focusing in one's mind, even if you're not physically wrapped up with it, on where you're feeling a bit trapped or limited, and that could be, again, connected to, wrapped up with the unnecessary fear, the uncertainty for the future. But Spirit's saying you're protected. You're protected, my friend. Don't you worry. And don't let the entanglements concern you, okay, or just one specific one. I feel like somebody's going to teach you something. You may need to ask them multiple times to repeat it, even if you don't want to do it right in that moment. Interesting. But we also have the Ace of Swords. Probably should have shown you this imagery. That's what we were just speaking upon. But I do feel like you even do a pretty damn good job of finding a level of joy and potentially even peace in moments of, or wrapped up in a situation that isn't perfect, okay? So give yourself credit for that. And so they might highlight past moments when you did just that as well for the benefit of your present day situation. But the Ace of Swords talking about clarity coming in, okay? I need to keep the hope alive at this time in regards to what doesn't feel right for you anymore, or just doesn't feel perfect, in regards to all that's taking place. Certain people might be a little bit stressed around you or wrapped up with you. I do feel as if there could be a potential for a big shift in energy in a situation at a certain point when wrapped up in it. Say you're at work and then the energy just shifts to a more lively way of being, or just more fun, more chaotic potentially, or that could be more at home where things go from very peaceful to a bit noisy and a bit more on edge, right? Or vice versa. You get the point. Adapt it to your situation as you will, or just wait and see how that unravels. But the day highlights where you don't fit in, okay? There's thoughts of not having enough money for something or for multiple things. Trust that the solutions to any problems, quote unquote, as we may be labeling them in our mind, heart and soul at times, they'll come to be when they're meant to, right? And you may even find that recently and throughout this specific day, certain people that you're connected to are kind of responding to your thoughts, right, via text. This happened to me yesterday, and it was just, even at this point along my spiritual path, it still is crazy to an extent, but Spirit's saying, well, how do you think spirituality works, right? Working through other people and even just being energetically connected to certain people, to the point where things just connect, things even just feel like coincidences once again, but aren't, okay? And so with that said and done, why are we second-guessing second-guessing the fact that you're protected moving forward? Or why do you still feel the need to focus on unnecessary fears and the uncertainty when you're freaking protected? Pulling over here, you need to dig for the inner strength when it comes to an ending you desire in the near future, okay? Or multiple, because I do feel like it's depleting you even more so when you give it the time of day, right? Or obviously easier said than done in certain situations, or when you overly focus on it in your mind, or you don't just implement a strategy to escape that situation or just to help oneself. Spirit's saying if it's a noisy situation, I know it almost sounds a bit contradicting, I don't know if that was the right wording, but why not utilize music, right? It's still a bit noisy, but it's an escape in a sense. But it doesn't fix the energy is what I'm getting. Anyways, the Ten of Pentacles coming out over here because Spirit's saying you're protected in regards to all that you're meant to discover. continuing from the previous day, and in regards to your financial health and wealth moving forward. Because naturally, I do feel as if there is a focus on what you lack in one way, shape, or form, or in multiple ways. But again, there's no need to fear the unknown. There's no need to fear the unacquired. That's not a word, I don't think. No need to fear what you don't have at this time, or are concerned about not having moving forward. Okay, your savings will increase is what I'm getting. Let's pull a couple more. I feel the need to fill them in over here. Yeah, judgment. Be honest with oneself. How do we re-implement a level of strength within our situation? How do we move forward in a stronger direction? Okay, through a level of clarity coming in for oneself and knowledge as well. Spirit's saying keep the hope alive by being completely honest with yourself, however that works for you. Okay, how do we maintain our inner peace all the meanwhile? The Seven of Cups, because through a level of protection, being reminded through a level of spirituality and what feels like coincidences at times, Spirit's saying you have so many freaking options. Okay, you might feel the need to even browse things online is what I'm getting, or do some online shopping, but you all the meanwhile just need to remember that things will just proceed and unravel and change as they're meant to, period. Whether you stress about it or you choose not to, whether you trust the divine or you choose not to, okay? But having your trust and faith in your spiritual guides and how things are meant to proceed and unravel and change, that's going to make it 10 times easier for your guides all the meanwhile, okay? But also just don't force it is what I'm hearing. When it comes down to little moments, okay? But this is a day where it as a whole reminds you, yes, you don't have everything you need, right? Yes, things are needing to change once again, and you can't help but focus on the past and the future at times. But there's a beauty in staying where you are in the present until the time comes to switch things up, but also just embracing the small moments to better one's state of being, right? To even gain something else from the present moment all the meanwhile, okay? Take a deep breath and recognize that everything's going to move and change up once again as it's meant to, and you'll better understand that at least to a certain extent by the end of this day, all right? So I hope this was truly helpful. Sending you so much love and light. Go enjoy your Saturday, and I'll definitely see you next time.